Hi, everybody. I'm Cindy Sorley from Vertical Actors Network, and we are starting a brand new series, which I'm super excited about. And our very first guest is the mother of actress Miah Green. Dawn, welcome.
Hello, how are you? Hello, Vertical World.
So I picked you as my very first, because I've been on set with Miah a couple of times, have met her. She's just been wonderful. She's been amazing to me. Every time she sees me, she goes out of her way.
Oh,
And you guys are so cute together. So give us a little bit about you raising Miah, because I know Miah is not only a vertical actress, she's a very, very talented artist in her own way. So let's get into the story of being mom to Miah.
boy, where do we begin? Maya, she's an she's an anomaly, honestly. She is so gifted in so many ways, but ever since she was little, I mean, like 2 years old, she just had this amazing vocabulary. She had an old soul about her. Like 8 or 9, her favorite book was Little Women, which is insane. Anne of Green Gables, just things like that. Um, but since she was kindergarten, she started competitive cheer. Um, and like I knew she wanted to absolutely be a performer from day one, birth. Like she just has that way about her. Um, but yeah, we've from competitive cheerleading. Um, my friend owned the gym, and they said, "Hey, we need to have her work on her core strength." She was a flyer. And I was like, "Okay." I'm like, "Maya, tighten her core." And she sucked in her gut. And I was like, "Okay." Didn't think I thought a 6-year-old would know how to tighten their core anyway. So I was talking to my hairdresser one day and she's like, "What about aerials?" I'm like, "Aerial silks, what's that?" And then she was explained it to me and I was like, "Oh, okay." And at that time in Utah, there were no um classes for kids, like at all. Like it just wasn't a thing kids were into. So we had to do privates. And of course, Maya picked probably the two most expensive sports to do. And after a year of her doing both, I'm like, so maybe we need to choose one because it was just gobbling up. And she has a little brother. So I'm like, it was gobbling up all of our time. But she picked aerials, which I was kind of sad 'cause love being a cheer mom. But no, she has broken the glass ceiling, I should say, on a lot of things. I mean, it's been amazing to watch her philanthropy work since she was little. She was Miss Utah. Um, just, I don't know. I don't know if you know about her thank you notes on every set to cast and crew. She just, she is the sweetest human and probably the most giving human. Um, I don't know. Just I always knew she would be on a stage, whether it was circus or singing or something, kind of always knew. She was a handful, a good handful.
Well, when you're that smart and you're that dynamic and you are so, talented and so wanting something like Maya does, I can see her being a handful as a child, going the next step. But what happened? How did she get into acting and how did she get into verticals?
Um, like again, like she's always liked to perform. So I don't even her friend who I don't know if you've ever seen her Instagram, there's a male model, his name is Chris, that she has done a lot of modeling with. And he's an actor in Utah. And so his mom and me are really good friends. Just saw her in Huntsville. She performed my son's wedding. So we I guess we were talking one day, and then we went into to start acting classes. Um, and like circus, there's an art to having the audience see what you're doing, like acting wise in aerials as well as that. So she did that, and her brother does anything she does. So like, he just wanted to. So then he got into acting. They did a short film that won a best short film at Utah Film Awards. So that kind of started it. Um, she did a lot of auditions and she did, things here and there. Circus was her primary goal. And then we I started seeing the vertical thing pop up, and that was October of 2024. Yes. It was October 2024, and we kind of had talked about it like jokingly. Like she goes, "Oh man, they suck you in." You know what I mean? Like the little ads, right? And I was on Actors Access, and she's had the same agent through circus, through acting, through everything. Her and her brother had the same agent and stuff. And so I was like, "Oh, I'll just look on." Yeah, I was just like ho humming one day looking, and I saw a vertical. I didn't even know what they were called, and it said vertical short. And I was like, "Oh," I submitted her, and she got the request for the audition, and she's like, "Mom, really?" Like, "Oh," and she was very like, she was like, "I'll do it for you, but whatever." And she booked it. And that was the very first one, which was a Hollywood Match with Ashley Michelle Grant and Robert Watkins and Adam and Jeff, like just like people that because then I started getting into them, right? Like I bought a subscription, I never did. But so I started getting, I was like, "Oh my gosh, Ashley's my favorite." Maya has said in interviews before that I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I feel like you guys would be best friends." And Maya's like, "Mom, stop. You don't even know these people." Like,
Oh, I know.
which I don't know them at all on a personal level, but whatever. But Ashley in the beginning, like seriously, Ashley was, as a mom, to see someone like Ashley, uh, kind of take Maya under her wing in the beginning. And she would always ask her, like, if you need anything, if you have questions about something, just let me know. They went to, dinner or lunch or whatever a couple times. And I mean, that is just someone that just warmed my heart just to see her help somebody that had no idea about the vertical space.
And she was young because,
Yeah, she was 18.
yeah, I think a lot of people forget that Miah is as young as she is because to me, she's
Yeah.
such an old soul. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I first met her, it's funny. Her and I met in the bathroom. I was on
Okay.
with her and came and we met in the bathroom, and she was so cute. She goes, "Oh my God, Cindy," and it's funny because we grew up. She grew up right near me in Utah, and so it was kind of fun. And so her and I have connected, and I see you. You travel with her. You've gone to Turkey with her. You've been on sets with her.
Mm-hmm. I've never been on set with her,
Not set.
but no, I've never. Now, I will say this: both of the kids, Royal and Maya. Royal, my son, he's an actor too, uh, and even in the circus industry, I learned with Maya. One of the things that we kind of teach, I did some like how to raise a professional athlete seminar, and one of the things that I always say is ask your kid if they want you to watch. And Maya never has. And one, I know her act. So I would know if there was a mess up, where judges don't know her act, so they wouldn't know. But in Royal and Maya's, I think they would look to me for not direction, but do you know what I mean? Approval, I guess. So I'm the mom. I've never been on set. Even, Royal was on a Disney, and they were like, "Oh, you can come in," and all the moms clamored and said, "Nope, I'm fine." I just don't like, that's their thing. It's not my thing. I know nothing about the industry. Um, I'm learning more every day. But yes, I did go to China. She was 18, and I was like, and we travel the world. Don't get me wrong. We love to travel, but I was like, by herself. So I did do that, but I stay in separate hotel rooms. I don't really, if I see her, I see her. And like in China, I think I saw her 1.5 days, which was fine. But her cast would like call me and say, "Oh, hey, we're done. You want to go out to lunch?" I'm like, "Yeah." "You want to go to dinner?" So we had a blast. Turkey, I did fly over there. I sat in a different seat, and then her and Luca actually had seats together. Um, and then I stayed in the same hotel, but obviously a different room. But no, never went on set. And I think I saw her on her first day off before they started filming, and that was the only day I saw her.
Wow. And I know you traveled and you got to see a lot of Istanbul
Oh,
and
I loved it.
yeah, it's a
I'm
great
like, "Where are we going next, Maya?"
yeah, yeah. So now Roman also acts. Is he
Royal.
I mean Royal.
Royal.
It was Royal.
Yes.
I knew it was Royal.
Yeah, he did actually he did a national. He's done several national commercials. Last one being AT&T. He actually just had an audition for a feature film. He had a callback for an Adam Sandler one, which is pretty cool. So he's a big football player and golf. Does he see himself ever acting? I don't know. If he got a big break, maybe he might, but I think he's more athletic and has his sights on. He's just a junior.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but he's done a lot of cool things. He did a Comedy Central series. I mean, he did a with Pat Oswald, Fred Armisen. He's worked with Pat Oswald, Fred Armisen, Angela from The Office. Like, he's done some cool things. So, yeah,
That's awesome. So, a mom of two actors. So
yeah,
that's just crazy.
kind of crazy. Yeah.
Doing the sports, doing the acting, doing the circus,
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Yes.
I know that when you guys you left Utah to go to California for Maya's career, and then you moved to Las Vegas because
For
um
Maya's career
yeah, from
again.
Maya's career, and then you stayed there. But aren't you originally from Wyoming area?
Wyoming, yes.
Yeah,
And
which
that's
is
where Maya was born, Wyoming. It was kind of funny. She had a chem read with
Seth.
is it Seth? He's from Wyoming.
Yeah.
And Maya told me, she goes, oh, he was in airport. It's kind of bad just because, the airport, all that stuff. And I was like, who was it? And she was like, Seth. And I go, Maya, that's the guy from Wyoming. How many vertical actors are from Wyoming? It'd be you too. And she was, well, I didn't know that. I mean, she didn't know who the Ken Reed was, but yeah, it's always funny because every time I see him, I'm like, there we go, Wyoming. Actually, Maya will be going to Wyoming on the 16th. We have her uncle and her grandma's funeral. So we're going there on the 16th, 17th. And so, but Maya she's if people could see how she is in Wyoming, it's it's very shocking.
Is
She's very tomboyish,
yeah.
rides dirt bikes, shoots like guns, just wears cowboy boots, just super tomboyish. She's
I can
very,
see that in Maya. I can see that.
yeah,
Funny to be on set with her, and I'm like, does anybody know where Maya is? And they go, look under the table, and there she is, spread out in an evening gown,
sleeping,
the scene, just laying there, looking on her phone, or either laying down and sleeping, and she's just spread right out on the ground. And I went,
of
yep,
course.
that's Maya. You
That's
know,
Maya.
yeah. I mean, she's
She,
just such a trooper on
oh,
that. She's adorable. She cares about everybody. Now, explain. You said something about I don't know if you know about what she does on set with the crew. Can you go into that a little bit?
yeah. So, and this is like, I don't know, we've always been letter writers or thank you notes. I'm that mom that you get something, you send a thank you note. So starting, I think it was the first set. It might have been, I think it was the first set. She will write a personalized thank you note to every cast and crew member. Sometime, I mean, if the day players are there on the last 2 days, they get one. Like, it doesn't matter. It's everyone, and she will sit there and handwrite them. She wax seals them. She loves wax sealing and notes. Wax seals everything. And she'll give a little gift or something, and it warms my heart. It really is so sweet that she does it and thinks of everybody and knows everybody's name, and like that warms my heart. That makes me feel good that she does that.
Yeah, she's wonderful. So what? How many verticals has she done now?
I want to say about 26. I think the number's 26, 27. She has one that's in production still with Volo.
Uh huh.
So
Volo. It's it's easier to say Volo than it is to say Volano.
Volo, okay.
For whatever reason.
So yeah, she has that one that's for Dream Short. And then it was funny because I was telling my husband, well, I didn't sign an NDA. And he's like, Dawn. But she has one that she starts filming on the 6th with somebody that she's done the most amount of verticals with, that people love her with.
Oh,
If you can guess that person.
I know who it is. So I won't say anything until it
But
comes out.
yeah, so she was so excited. At first, she was like, oh, da, da, and then she was like, so if there's any type of sexual, I mean, again, she just turned 20. So she's very, she has a line, which I love that about my daughter, that she has a line. But she's like, who's the male lead? She just, and I get that as a woman, you just want to be comfortable, and because she is young, she just, we do always ask who the male lead is, just so that one, hopefully it's someone she's worked with before and she's comfortable with that person, or she can get to know that person, or you know what I mean? Or, that's just, and I love that about her. So this one, she was like, oh, I don't know. And then they told us who the male lead was. And I called her immediately because I happened to get a notification, and she's like, oh, okay, perfect. She goes,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
Very
yeah,
comfortable with him. He makes her,
super comfortable with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
makes her feel, he's Team Miah. So,
Yes. And he will stick up for Miah. And if there's something she's uncomfortable with, I mean, Miah will stick up for herself, but they sometimes tend to listen to, just obviously, I've never been on set, so I personally don't know, but what Maya said, they really, if the male lead says something, it's more like, okay, than if Maya raises the concern. So
yeah.
it's very important to someone be a champion in her corner. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. Now, do you watch all of her verticals after they come out?
I do. I do read all the scripts. Um, I watch her verticals, and when I know there's something I should not be like that I don't want to see, then I kind of, because of the script, I'll kind of know where it's at, and I'll just scroll through those parts. So, but yes, I have a funny thing that I will not watch. Say she has a, I don't know, dream short or drama box, short max, whatever. Um, I will only watch for 1 week hers, so I won't give anybody else any views, just so that, I help her, I guess. I don't even know if I'm helping her or not. But then after a week, I'm like, okay, then I'll watch other people's stuff. But
That's a good philosophy. I really like that because that's good. Now, do you watch other verticals also? I mean, or
I'm a sucker for her. I am. It's horrible. I mean, like, Maya will ask me, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, 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 I know that guy. Like, I'm like, I don't know him, but I know his work. So,
yeah,
yes, I watch, and I'm like, oh, Maya, did you know? And she's like, okay, mom. Like, it's just, yes, I do like them. I enjoy them. I'm 55, and like, I do pottery, or, with our lives, and that's just what I'll watch while I'm doing, basically pottery is what I do, or whatever. So, yeah. So I do watch them. I do.
I do too. That's how I started. That's how I started in the industry. I had heart failure. Doctor told me to go home and watch my heart. Verticals fell my way. 10 months ago. 10 months ago, and now I'm living part time in LA, and I'm doing this from my apartment in LA.
That's amazing.
And working as a casting director and working in the industry. I'm consulting three young actors, in the
Oh, I
business.
love that.
Yeah, doing submissions for them and everything. So it's been, takes a load off them, and it's been really fun. It's been a journey. But so do you have a favorite actor that you like in the industry? I mean, is there someone that you're like, oh, I gotta watch what he's doing, or do you just kind of all over the place?
Um,
A lot of favorites.
so I will still stand that Ashley's still my favorite actress. I love her. I even saw her recently in, like, being an antagonist, which I was like, what? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Um, and I do love Richard Trotter. Um, Cayman, I like watching Cayman. Um, I do like a lot. Like Adam, I like Adam. Um, I like Seth just because he's from Wyoming, and I like
I always,
the
I'm like, hey neighbor, when I
yeah.
met.
So I do love that about that, and I always am like, one day those two, they can just talk about Wyoming. Um, but yeah, I mean, those are probably my favorite. But I'll kind of watch all of them. I mean, I will watch all of them. I mean, just depend. I don't like now you can tell the AI ones, and I'm like, like, I mean, you can just immediately tell, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about AI. Is has Maya talked to you about it? Like, is she concerned about it? Have you seen her not getting as many roles because of AI? And what is your thoughts?
Well, so Maya, like she's basically had like 5 weeks off. Um, and she is like, "Oh my gosh." But I'm like, I think that's could be possibly somewhat normal. I heard it was slow right now, but I mean, I don't know the industry again. But it's also she was going back to back to back to back to back, which is probably not really that normal. So I was like, it's just you were constantly going. Um, and I her agent said sent something about uh or the like real short, or I don't know real short, but just saying that's just one that popped in my head was like testing AI for June. I don't know if that's true or not or whatever. So Maya has like she booked this one obviously, but Maya's like, oh, okay, back to work. So I Maya has an AI clause that her agent and manager have put into her contract. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but I also don't really enjoy. I think I did watch several episodes of an AI and I didn't enjoy it. I
Yeah,
mean, one, everybody looked so perfect. It was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
I didn't like the voicing, the like it wasn't like again, you put personality and you get all these amazing actors and actresses and they're creative, they have their own quirks about them, their own little things that they do that and people they follow. People watch, say for instance, Cayman, just because it's Cayman, like they will watch those because they love that actor. You
exactly.
can't love an AI thing. I get that it's about money and I totally understand that. I mean, that's just the way the world works, but I don't think I don't know if Maya's scared of it. I mean, again, I don't know if the industry will hold, but I kind of think that most people like movies have been around forever without AI. Like they're entertainment. And I think they'll still be around. I don't know, maybe it's just slow, but now we're like good. At first I was like, "Oh my gosh, Maya, what happened? What did you do?
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
do something? Are you blacklisted?" She's like,
yeah.
"What?"
I know.
I'm
I've
like, "I
talked,
don't know."
yeah, I've talked to a number of actors that are not working. Some
Mhm.
haven't worked in a couple of months, and when they've asked about it on Actors Access, I know you've probably noticed there's just not there's
Nope.
the vertical jobs out there. There's
Right.
a lot of day player and background because they've done direct
Yes.
offers to the leads, but
Right.
there's not a lot of leads out there for jobs, and so it's been a concern. The three guys that I work for that I do submissions for, I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry. There's just nothing there. So they've turned to doing some commercials and some other stuff, but one of them's got a family and he's got to work, and so
Yeah.
we're looking at different options and stuff like that. But it is a concern. Maya's got
Yeah.
rent, she's got and everything, and I'm hoping that it's not going to be sustainable. China started it 7 or 8 months ago. It worked really, really well. So then they send that to the United States and say,
Right.
oh, let's make AI because it's a tenth of the cost and people are going to watch. Well, they watch it in China. Are they going to watch it in the US? You know,
Right.
and so, I know there's been some issues with actors and actresses having their likeness done into AI, that looks very much like them. One was a horrible, horrible situation where it was porn, basically. Even with an AI contract in it, trying to get it off the platform, and it's still up. It's still up there.
Oh,
And I felt so bad for the actor and the actress. I talked to the actor about it when I found it. I called him, and it's out there, and and their thing is well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, there is. The platforms are not taking these things down, but you
right.
know so I think there has to be even more in the clause, because they'll say, oh well, the client is in China, deal with it in China. It's different rules. And so I just think that agents and stuff have to be a lot more careful with that. But I'm hoping that this will just kind of go and people will not watch. every vote
Yeah.
counts. Every
Right.
view counts as yeah, oh, people are watching, let's do it. So I'm
Right.
really
And I don't think, I mean, like personally for me, and I don't know about anybody else, but I'm like, yeah, I'd rather watch one I already watched with people I enjoy watching or, root for in the, I'd rather give that attention to real people and actors and actresses that, like, again, have families to support. Or, I mean, LA is not cheap to live in.
believe me, I know.
Yeah. And so I'm like, Maya's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, hey, just, it'll be fine. Like, and I even noticed that there's been less direct offers, and kind of her agent was like, when you get to a certain level, right? And you're getting those direct offers like all the time. And like Maya's having to audition again, which I honestly think it's kind of good. Like it's good to audition, but it's I think it's up to where there's so many people trying to get into this space, and there's always girls or women, whatever, that want to be actresses. That why pay someone when they can pay them half? Because
You're
there's somebody out there that's willing to do for, like, I saw actually yesterday a lead for 450 a day. I was like,
I've seen them on Actors Access. I've seen leads for 200 a day. I've seen leads for 300 a day on some of these. And the thing is that's another thing to touch on is SAG. When SAG is doing micro drama, I mean, they're doing mini budget or a
mhm,
budget SAG. These actors are going to get $200 or $300 a day. That's
right,
what the leads are going to get that. You know, are you willing to do the SAG to get that pay? Is it what's going to happen? So I'm hoping that a lot of them stay non-union so they can still get their pay. But I asked one actor, I said, I'm not understanding how leads are getting, $300 or $400 a day. It's just crazy that some of these big platforms are only paying that. And he said, because there's someone out there that'll take that job. There's a new
100%.
actor that will get, oh, I'll be a lead. I'll be a lead. Okay. They paid you $300 and it will likely show that you were a $300 lead. But I hope that's not lowering the bar for everybody to lower
Right.
the bar for day rates, for these actors and actresses.
Yeah. Yeah. It was shocking. I was like, what? Yeah, that's
And you're seeing more
crazy
and more
for,
of it.
and I just know, like, just obviously, I'm just obviously my own experience with Maya. I mean, she is there maybe 15 to 30 minutes after the crew gets there. Those are her call times. And she is the last to leave. And as a female actor, I mean, you are working 12 hours. And the males, I mean, yes, some males are there the entire 12 hours too, but not all the time.
I
Sometimes they get to come in at 11 or noon, and so I was just like, man, to get just $400. I mean, not just, I mean, that's more money than some people that make in a day at a, working cashier or whatever. So I'm not discounting that, but
and it's fast, fast, fast paced. 30-minute
right.
break. You know, every girl on that sheet that's a lead is there at call time. It's a 12-hour day. It's fast, fast, fast. They're shooting 12 to 17 pages, over 5 to 7, 8 days. And to get it. And, there's no breaks, and so to have them lower that price so much, it's almost criminal. It's like, what? Is that even legal? Because that makes them making less than minimum wage, at
Yeah.
these rates.
And I
But
think it's just because so many people are trying to break into the industry now that it's been so, at first it was very taboo to do those. And now it's, and I'm like, well, I think the people that are established, and I don't know if anybody would even consider Maya established. I don't know what established means, but people know her, I guess. Um, like, I don't think it's fair to those people to just undercut, just because they've worked. Maya obviously it hasn't been 2 years yet, but like Ashley or Mariah or those, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's not fair.
yeah, I still consider Maya one of the pioneers because she started early and she's done I consider her a pioneer of the vertical industry, and she's one of the top leads. And for all these influencers, like TikTok people that were influencers. Now I see them going into some of them, they've never acted other than on TikTok, and they're willing to take that $200 or $300 for a lead just to get seen and just do it. Where before some of them were changing their name, so you know they didn't want to go under their real name because it was an embarrassment to do a vertical, and now it's the hottest thing in the world
Right.
right now is to do a vertical. So I do feel badly for some of these actors that are losing out roles which they would be perfect in. They're
Mhm.
losing them out to influencers or to people that are just coming into the industry, models that have never acted, because those models or whatever are willing to take the job for a lot less. So
Yes.
those are the two things that I really see happening in the vertical industry right now is AI actors
Hmm.
taking over and doing some stuff. I don't think it can be sustainable. But the other thing is SAG coming in and lowering the rates for actors too. And I'm hoping that a lot of these platforms will stay non-union so that actors can make what they deserve, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for Miah. So she's got this coming up. What is her dream? Has she ever told you, Mom, this is what I want to do?
That girl's always had different dreams. Well, if the acting hadn't taken off, she probably would be working in the circus somehow. Circus, circus, the soul, or I don't know, in the country doing circus or something. Um, she does, in she likes what she does, but she is very much so a behind the scenes kind of gal. Like, she choreographs, and she creates things, performances for her students and things like that, and for her own self. She designs her own costumes. So all of those things, she would love to be a director. She would love to be behind the scenes.
That's
She enjoys what she does now, and she is kind of just saving money, and she actually has applied for film school. Saw an email saying that, so I didn't know, but before all this, she was going to go. She wanted to be a physical therapist, um, because you can do that mostly when you work in circus. Your hours are at night, and you can do college during the day. So, I mean, we just would like her to continue her education. We don't care if it's in film or whatever, but she definitely sees herself behind the scenes. Uh, but she's just getting to know during this process. She's really getting to know everything, like what each member does. She really enjoys it and loves the people that she's meeting. And for right now, I mean, she's just 20. I mean, the sky's the limit, and
and
just go.
she's got it. She's got that want. I want, and she's so wonderful. She's when I look at her and she's looking and she's on set and she's looking at her lines before she goes on set and she's talking to different people on the crew. She's just so into it, and you can just see she's got that love for what she's doing. Now,
Yes,
you said her students, is she still teaching gymnastics
she
or
teaches aerials. So aerial, hammock, um, lyra, anything but silks. She doesn't like silk. I mean, she'll help them. The girls, two of her students do silks, and she'll help them. Um, she started out on silks, but she does like metal apparatuses. So, yes, she's actually, she was going to go up there in Idaho. So when we were in Wyoming, she was trying to get it to where she could just go straight up there to help them, um, or whatever. But no, she's very good with kids,
and
loves
does she
kids.
does she do that in California?
No, I've told her to, like, go coach, but then, and I get, they she'd all of a sudden would be gone for 8 or 9 days if she's
Right.
so. It is kind of hard to kind of get that, unless she just does privates, somewhere, which she could do that when she does Zoom privates, things like that, and then she can go anywhere, when she's not filming.
Yeah.
And she judges a lot too. She judges lots of national competitions. She's doing one now. So yes, so she judges a lot of aerial competitions too.
Yeah, I know that you guys were recently near my hometown. I grew up in Morgan, Utah. You guys were in
Oh,
Huntsville.
okay.
For your son's
Yes, we were
wedding.
in Huntsville.
Yeah, I grew up right in Mountain Green, right over the Trappers
I
Loop.
love that. Yeah,
Yeah,
my son got married at the
at the museum.
Huntsville Mercantile. Yeah, that. Yes.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I know a guy that lives right across the street from it. But yeah, I grew up in that area,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's really fun for me to see that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's right where I grew up, you know. But I think what's really neat about the whole thing with Maya is she's so young. She's got such a future ahead of her, you know, and she's got the determination, the will. You know, she's learning all the time. You know,
Yes.
she's got the excitement about it, and I just love that she's so kind. You know, she's so loving, so kind, so thoughtful. And you know what? That's a lot of kudos to you. You
Oh,
know,
thank you. Yes.
you raised a wonderful, wonderful girl. So you were like my first choice to do
Oh,
an interview with mom. You know, when the idea came up and I threw it by JJ Michaels, I said, JJ, I want to do something really different. And he goes, what? And I said, I want to interview moms. And he goes, what? I said, I want to interview the moms of these actresses and actors. And he said, who would be your first? And I said, oh, absolutely Dawn, Maya's mom. And he goes, perfect choice. He goes, schedule it and do it. So I really, really
and here
appreciate
we are.
I really, really appreciate you doing this with me.
And I
Um,
did not tell Maya. Like Maya has no idea.
well,
And
this,
I told my husband Royal, I go, because Royal and Maya talk, and I'm like, do not tell Maya. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what if I say something? And then my husband says, Wes says, have you seen my interviews? The stuff she said? I'm like, that's true. How could I? Like, you will never not know what Maya's thinking. Like, that is one of the things we love about her. She's not going to sugarcoat anything at all, ever.
exactly.
Um, and sometimes we're like, read the room. But hey, she'll stand up for herself, her line, like whatever she feels like she really will. And I'm kind of glad she got the 5 weeks off, because it can be like, I don't know, probably all the other actors, it's a toll.
It
It's
is.
really a toll on you to do it, constantly back to back. I mean, come home from Turkey and then go. And then in the interim, her grandma passed March 6th. And then her favorite uncle passed 2 weeks or 2 months to the date, May 6th. Both times she was on set.
Yeah,
Like, the poor girl has never had time to grieve it, really. And then I was like, do I even tell Maya? And Wes was like, yes, you have to tell Maya. Like, what if she sees it on social media? You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
When I was
this,
there on set, I knew that your mom was sick, and I knew that
mhm,
she'd been ill, and and I'm like, do I bring it up? She's on set. Is it going to upset her? So I just say, I hope the best for your grandma. Before she passed, and she's just such a strong girl. But yet you got to remember she's still young. And let her. So this 5 weeks, I hope, was wonderful for her. You know,
yeah. I mean, yeah, we a wedding, and unfortunately we have two funerals now, but no, it's even when she was young at the circus in LA, people, like, coaches would yell at her, but she was super tall then. Like, she hit a and then they would be like, "Oh my gosh, we just have to start remembering that she was only, like 11 at the time." But
yeah,
she's always carried herself much differently, that I know other people in the industry think she's, probably older, and or even other actors and actresses. And I'm like, like, why is this happening? Or whatever it be, like, she's 19. Like, do you know what I mean? Or like that, like, she's only 18. Like, that's not an excuse or anything, but she's still learning life. Like, she's like just out of high school. I mean, well, she graduated at 16. She's a smart kid too. So she graduated really early of high school. But yeah, I'm just like, she's still pretty young. Like, she doesn't have all the life experiences
yeah. And
yet.
I told her a few months ago that I'm working on a vertical for her, a circus based one, and hoping to put Cayman in it because he does silks. And
Yes.
and she was
I
like, "Oh,
think
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it."
I think Maya said that because we know people that own a traveling circus. that have a tent, and we know them, we know the family very well. And so I was like, you know how many people we could get for this? I mean, just people would absolutely come to help Miah during this, and they would be like, what do you need? You need a circus tent? You got it. So
Yeah.
that would be, and
That
I think it would be so different.
yeah.
Like, it would be something that, Miah just did that one with Luca that came out, Not Allowed to Love You. And I just like watching when she gets to dance, or and she doesn't enjoy dancing that much. But when her flexibility and dance or aerials as a mom, I'm just like, oh, so beautiful. Like, I just love when I get to see any, you know, part of that in a vertical. It just warms my heart. I was like, oh, she's so talented.
Yeah, she's just amazing, and I love her as an actress, but I also love her as a person. And she followed me early. I've only been doing
Mhm.
this middle of August. Her and Richard Shira both followed me really early. Have been very supportive of my career and what I've been doing. And I've watched her grow. I've watched people, when she's done different roles, they're like, oh, I've seen people make comments to her, and she handles them so beautifully if they're kind of negative. She
Mhm.
just handles them really well. She's got a really strong, thick skin, on things. And
She does, yes.
I'm really proud of her for her being so young and such, I've said, Miah, you're such an old soul, and she's like, I know, but you've done an amazing job with her.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet you when you're in town next time, or when
Yes.
if you,
I
I don't
don't know when it'll be. Or if
yeah,
Maya has something going on, then maybe. Maybe
yeah,
she'll get asked to go to Verticon, I don't know, or
yeah,
something, then I'd go
I,
do that.
that would be awesome. And if, do you ever get back to Utah at all anymore?
Yeah, my brother and son live in Layton, and my daughter. My daughter lives in Ogden, and then my son and my brother live in Layton. So,
In Layton.
oh, well, there, yeah, my brother works at Hill,
Okay.
and then my son lives off of Antelope and Hill, like where that Maverick is, and those
Yeah, yeah,
houses over there.
yeah.
So that's
Okay.
my son. Yeah. So yeah, I
I'm on,
go there, and I have two
I'm on
grandsons up there.
yeah, I'm on Oak Hills Drive. You know
Oh, okay.
where the temple is? I'm right above it.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to close my store to the retail, and so we'll be out of there August 1st. But so that I can do more of this, I'm taking on more clients and casting a lot more. So I'll be out here more, but I'll be back and forth. But yeah, we have to visit.
I love that you're doing something cool. When we were at the fan awards, there
Yeah,
was it was a I can't remember her name. She'd probably kill me, but there was an actress that I actually do that I like, a lead actress, and she comes over and she starts talking to me like as if she knew me, and I'm like, then she says the name, and I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, my name is Dawn Greta, like I'm just Maya's mom. Like, that's how I'm always either Royal's mom or Maya's mom. I don't even have a name. And she goes, oh my goodness, I thought you were a vertical this somebody a vertical agent who maybe we look similar, I don't know. And she was so sweet, but she was like, do you want some water or something? And I'm like, oh no, I'm fine. She goes, are you sure? Can I get you anything? I was like, that's so sweet, but no, I don't. But just the people that I'd met just that day, like they all seemed so nice, and I'm glad Maya's has some really good friends, and Maya's not a very social person. I don't know if anybody picked up on that. But she'll go out once in a while. Jake had his birthday, Jake Siaka. She went to that. Uh, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you should go out with these people, but and it's kind of hard because she's not 21 either, too. And
yeah.
they like to, so, but no, it's been a fun ride. I love everyone in the community. Like, all of you guys have been so supportive of her,
Yeah,
and just I love supporting you guys, and Maya and I are very much into supporting others. Like, we will give the shirts off our backs for people. We will do anything. Like, I mean, just we love watching women succeed in this, and love supporting other actors and actresses. So no, it's been fun for me just to watch her work with people that I like.
yeah.
And,
That's
and
kind of fun. So you're a mom of a vertical actress, but also a vertical fan, which is, I started out as a vertical fan and I'm still a vertical fan, but now that I'm in the industry, I can still be a vertical fan. And I got to meet my favorite actor, which I was super excited about.
Who's your favorite actor?
My favorite actor in the vertical space is Aaron Oberst. He's
Oh, yes.
he's my
Okay.
he's my favorite. He's like way up here above anybody else. And then I love Felix Murbach. I like Felix.
Oh, yes. Maya sat next to Felix at the Vertical Fan, the was it Vertical Fan Awards? Yes.
Yeah.
Um, yes, yeah, the only person like I think the only person I'd want her to work with is um oh my gosh, we are just talking about him and I forgot his name. Oh, Seth.
Oh,
Um
Dean, because being from
I
my
mean just the Wyoming thing, nothing else, but for the Wyoming thing. Um and female, I think Sarah,
oh, Sarah Malevsky.
I think she would be a hoot to
Oh,
work with.
the two of them together
Oh,
would
and Maya, I wish Maya was able to do more comedy because Maya is hysterical. Like, and I'm not even like Maya and Royal, like both of my, I don't know how where they got their comedic time, but those two can get me going. And it is just so funny. Maya will be FaceTiming once in a while. She'll do these whole skits. One time she did this whole skit. I recorded the whole thing because it was so funny. She was playing me because I will say something like, "Oh, the tangled webs you weave," like just like you know what I mean. When she was a teenager, and then Maya was like going back and forth, like me to her, and so I was so excited. And then I looked, I go, it didn't record. She goes, "Mom, FaceTime, you can't record an entire FaceTime conversation or like the video." I was trying to video it, and I was like, "Darn it," because I was like, "This is so cute," but no, Maya is pretty funny. Yeah, I think those two would be hysterical together.
I would love to see those
They
two.
would feed off each other so much. But
And Sarah's wonderful. She's funny, she's comical, she can play an antagonist. When she got her first lead that she did, I was just blown away and I was so excited for her. And I just told her, I said, you know what, you can do anything. And I'm so tickled.
yeah, I love her.
Those
Yes,
together would be amazing. And
it would
throw
be
in
funny.
comedy with, one of the actors that can handle comedy really well. I would love
Mhm.
I would love to see a comedy with those two. But
Yeah, I'd love to see more comedy. Period. They're
yeah,
getting better at it, but
yeah,
I mean, Maya tends to fall into the age gap thing.
yeah.
Um, but the Catch Me If You Can, I thought she was hysterical in,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
a lot of that they improv.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I
Like,
heard that. That it was a
yeah,
lot.
and Ryan, the director, like the scene where they're pulling off her clothes when she's turning into a boy, and then Maya runs. Which Maya said she directed that whole thing. They were like, "Well, what if we do this?" And so, like, yeah, if Maya can improv something hysterical like that, like, it would be funny. The comedy on that was my favorite thing, and
Yeah.
she wishes she could do more comedy. So
Oh,
hopefully,
let's get her cast in a comedy. Now, I could even make the circus one
yes,
a comedy. I could make the circus one a comedy. I've got
yeah.
kind of an idea for it, but I could work on it. Now, of all the verticals she's done, is that your favorite one?
Um, I Catch Me If You Can, yes, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I really liked How to Break a DILF.
Oh, I
There are
did.
just some great scenes in there. Like when she's leaving and she's like, "I hope you find the woman worth fighting for." I mean, like, there was some really like poignant scenes in there. Maya's probably if Maya heard me, she'd be shaking her head. But also Maya would die on a hill for Richard. Like she said, he is honestly the kindest man she's ever met. Just so just giving in general. Like she just really enjoys working with him. And so uh if I hear such wonderful, kind things, which Maya's never said anything like she was like, "I'll never work with this person." I mean, she's really liked everybody. But Richard and Volo, she said, was so when I hear that people are just super kind, mostly when it's your kid, right? Um, then I want to even support them more. So I
Exactly.
did like How to Break a Dilf, and I thought Swing My Way Back to You. She was a little meanie in there, and oh, Wait, the temper tantrum and queen of the court, though, and I love Mariah.
Oh, thank
Um,
you. I loved that.
she got to break a racket. She saw that and she was like, "I'm in." Like, I don't even care what the script is. I get to break a tennis racket and throw a temper tantrum. I'm in.
She was amazing in that. And that's where some people had made some comments about her. And I'm like, I love the way you handled those comments, and I'm
Oh,
like,
I didn't even know that. So,
people,
okay.
people can be so rude, about, looks and appearance and acting. And, they need to realize this is not the person, this is acting, and, I always say that people, on the internet, I had haters, moving into the industry from fan to
Right.
work in the industry, I had haters and I took it to heart. And I had a number of actors say, you've just got to get a thicker skin. And it's not a you problem, it's a their problem. And
Mhm.
that helped me. That's really helped me. I've gotten a lot better about it. But, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a lot like Maya. And the funny thing is when I've been on set with her, people say, is she your mom? And she's like, no, no, no. She's like the set mom, when she comes on set. But it's funny because we've had a number of people ask us I think I've been on set with her 3 or 4 times. And
Oh,
so
that's funny.
different crew will ask. But man, I cannot thank you. It's already been 51 minutes we've been
Oh my
talking.
goodness. Well, there you go.
It's just wonderful. And I just want to thank you. And again, everybody, this is Dawn, the mother of Miah Green. And I want to thank you. Thank you so much. And I wish you the best of luck with both, I want to say child actors, two young actors,
Yeah,
you're
yes.
a mom of actors and athletes and everything. And Royal and Maya, I wish them both the best of luck. And
Well, I can't wait to follow the series and see who else you get to come. I hope you get a lot of cool people. It'd be
I've got another,
very interesting to see other parents. So I love that.
yeah, I've got another one today, which I'm super excited about.
For you already. Look at this. You took the ball and ran with it.
Well, it just happened yesterday. They said someone wants to come see your apartment. Um, it's one of the actors, and his mom's in town. And I said, can we please? And so
Perfect.
he's like, yeah. So we're gonna do that. And
I
so
love that for you.
yeah, and that's why I had to change our appointment because they're
Yeah,
coming
no problem.
the only time. But one thing I want to tell you about Maya, a cute story about her. There was a time when I was coming out and I was having issues staying, because I was coming out, deciding if I was going to move out, and I was deciding if I was going to do it or whatever. And there were like 3 days where I was going to have to get an apartment. She's like, no, 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 come to my place. It's small. You're welcome to it. And I thought, what a sweetheart. That's just who she is.
Yes.
Luckily, luckily for her, I didn't need to stay at her place, but she was so kind and so sweet to offer that to me. And that just really endeared me to her. That's just
Yes.
how she is. So,
She is that way. Yes, definitely.
yeah. But thank you
Well,
so much.
you're welcome. Thank you for and
We
watch. Hey, by the way, I'll just plug this real quick. Dill's at like 199 million almost, so let's get it to 200 million. I'm
absolutely.
just saying.
Let's just do it. Tell us where we
I
can.
love it. Well, thank you, and I hope everybody enjoys all their beautiful children acting and actresses, and I love it.
It'll be a blast. Thank you again, Dawn.
Thank you, and hopefully I'll meet you soon.
Yeah. Thank
Mwah.
you. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye.